Alrighty, and we should be live. Yes, we are.
Cool.
Cool. Hello,
Nice.
everyone, and
Does
welcome. Go
do
ahead.
either of you? Sorry.
You're
No,
good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, no, no. Do either of us what? Go for it.
Do either of you know if I can have Discord, not the app itself, but the window closed and it? Okay, never mind. Just tell me. Can you still see me?
Yeah. So I have a pop.
Okay,
I
cool.
I have a pop-out window that has
Right.
everybody in it.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. Well, um,
Sorry to interrupt.
no, you're okay. You are perfect. Welcome to Melee and More. I am Acid.
And I'm Dalbull.
And today we have a very special guest to both of us, Latin SSBM. Rocco, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rocco, aka Latin, but you can just call me Rocco. I'm a melee player, one of the melee players of all time, one could
Sure.
say.
Yeah.
I live in Lafayette, by Purdue. I used to go to Purdue. Um, yeah, Purdue. I'd say Purdue is my local, and Indiana is like my region, right?
Awesome.
Mm,
Well, we're excited to have you
that's
on.
about it.
Yeah. That's honestly, she needs no intro. um,
Many have been saying this.
um, so for those of you who are new to Melee and More, we will start with some Melee related questions. Rocco, you will be playing Dalbull for this section.
Yo, that's one of my favorite people to play in this game.
And then I will be asking you some questions, and then after that we'll go to a more general questioning, and we will play some games.
For sure, sounds like a fun time.
I'm excited. I like when Dalton and I started this. I feel like we both knew that this was going to be an episode, right?
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
but you had to let it sit. You had to let
Uh
it sort
huh.
of like
Yeah.
wait and mature.
Uh huh. I had to let
We
it
had to
build
let you
itself.
catch a few strays.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Icelink said I shaved. Thank you. I did.
Joe, I for a second I thought you were talking about Dalton, and I was like, no way, I missed the shaved head.
No.
I was like, no way, I just didn't notice that.
Coming soon.
Oh god.
No, God, no.
uh,
Do not. Your precious mane looks so beautiful. That's not.
Dalton, are you? Yep.
Coming soon.
Sorry.
My code is bull #9. It's different now.
Bull hashtag. Oh, bull.
Like Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the number?
9.
9.
Banjo said this is like the final boss of Eminem. She
The
has like the
Discord.
lighting for it and everything. Like it's kind of ominous, but then like just right
Right.
there, like right in the bright light. Okay. So going straight into it, let's talk about some Midwest regionals. So
I love Midwest regionals. It's my favorite kind of tournament.
So, you and Nikki actually have brought up Midwest as just a powerhouse region, right?
Yeah, I think the Midwest is a pretty fun region, and I think we're certainly a lot stronger than we were in like the Doc or Five Gods era,
Sure.
something like that.
What makes the Midwest so good at running tournaments?
I think, I think it's the fact that scenes are so far away in the Midwest, like a lot farther than say the Northeast or like California or something like that. So I think there's a lot more pressure to sort of make tournaments run faster, run smoother, like be more fun for like the people that are driving, say, like not even 3, but like 5, 6 hours, right, just to attend like a Chicago like tournament or something like that.
Makes
So
sense, yeah.
I
Just
think a
like,
lot of POs have that in mind, or like keep that in mind, where they're like, people are coming from very far away, so I need to like, I don't know.
I get
put on
what you,
something special.
yeah, I get what you mean. It's like,
And also after that, I think it's a matter of like there being like very good infrastructure as far as like handing things off to other people, right? You see
Sure.
it with Chicago with like Unsure and then like Oval and Tenacity, right?
Sure.
Where like there's people care about what's their legacy and what's like gonna be left behind after them.
that makes sense, yeah. They want to grow the scene rather than just like grow themselves. Or like, like they care
Yeah, rather than
beyond
brandish.
themselves. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, and I think like part of that is it's just a lot easier to be like, hey, I'm gonna drive 3 hours to Chicago, than it is
Right.
like, hey, I'm gonna drive 3 hours to a regional that's in the state that or in the city that I live in. Like driving just isn't a real thing on the West Coast or anything like that. Like you
Yeah.
can, like people go to their locals, but like sometimes driving like 10 miles in LA is like a 2 hour commitment. And I feel like that's a real thing, is like Midwest is just accessible. That was a good angle. Okay. Do you have a penguin in chat? Why did Rocco say Five Gods era as if it's over?
Right.
Mm?
Very,
Mm?
very much still a
What?
thing.
But do you have a list of like the top 3 Midwest regionals that you've been to?
Oh, okay. Hmm. That's a very hard one.
And it doesn't have to be
Uh,
like these are definitely top 3, and it doesn't have to be like in order. It's just like some tournaments that really stood out to you.
I think Hold That L7 was a really fantastic tournament. That was one of the
Such a
last ones
fucking good tournament.
Andrew Unsure like did in Chicago, and it was like just like from the location, like at the O'Hare Marriott, it was
Hmm.
like super huge like vibes. It honestly felt like kind of like a mini like uh like major in terms of like the
Yeah.
talent and the
And
amount of people
shit,
that were
yeah, it
there.
was what, like 207? I knew it was north
Right,
of.
it was like a crazy stack.
Yeah. And you ended up getting what? Ninth?
Uh,
13th?
I think I got 13th, but
Uh
yeah,
huh.
we don't
Yeah,
exactly know.
okay. Okay. No, that's a
That was
big
what
What
started
deal.
happened
the
before?
13th train.
Okay, but the start of the 13 train is still hot, right?
I
Especially
mean,
again, a tournament with
those were pretty sad.
207 attendees. Like, top 8 was literally top 100.
Right,
Like,
it was pretty sad.
yeah. That's sick, dude.
And then honestly, 4M was a really fun tournament back
Okay.
July 22, just because I appreciated like it was a lot of fun to see people fly out there or get flown out. Like Salt was there,
Oh, yeah.
Zuppy went. There's a lot of really stacked talent, and it was also just like the location. I was glad I got to go to Minnesota Melee Monthly 13, I think,
Okay.
which was the last one that they had at that location. But both of those tournaments were great.
Sure.
4M just really did feel like a huge occasion. That was a really fun tournament.
I am bummed I never got to make it out, but yeah, that one, like, the Minnesota monthlies just seemed so sick.
Yeah, the new location actually, I know they got a more stable venue now for the more recent ones, and it
Mhm.
honestly seems like uh, just as good vibes as the old place. Yeah,
Sure. Oh, we'll have
and
to get a
then
carpool.
right, I mean it's a hell of a drive, but I
Eh,
think it's fun when you have the right people.
yeah.
Let's see,
Austin in
what you said
chat
3?
said, funny you're saying things about accessibility to someone without their driver's license. That's beast. um,
I don't have my driver's. I should have said that at the intro. I don't have my driver's license.
ah, very crucial piece of information. um,
You're like Purdue's
I
biggest
did,
traveler.
I did say 3, but that's more like it's not a tight 3. Like
Yeah.
whatever, yeah. Just a few
Uh,
tournaments that really stood out.
Honestly, I think the Kilroys have all been great tournaments.
I
They've
agree. I
like
since
the two Kilroys this year, especially. I had a lot of fun at the last one.
I think the
But
returns have been really sick.
yeah, I think the IU has done Diego and Austin and Conrad have like done a great job of uh, having like a new age style of TOing.
Sure.
That and I think that's really reinvigorated the scene after they had like a lot of struggles during COVID
Yeah.
and like right when COVID hit. They had to
It-
cancel Full Bloom right back
mm,
when COVID first hit, and that was like a huge blow. But I think they've done a really good job. Just it's the little things, right? Like not having designated dinner breaks because players will find out, like players will know their own schedule. They can find the time to eat
right.
food themselves,
Like I feel like it
and also
definitely does more hurt than good, right?
right. And it's just the little things like that they've had covered or that they've like think about, and it makes me really excited, not only for the future like regionals that they're hosting, but also like Full Bloom you know, in
Right.
in February. I just
Completely.
know that the IU scene is in good hands.
Completely agree. You know, after Louis left, it's like, where's Full Bloom going? You know, there's
Right.
always this like, oh, what's gonna happen now? I have complete hope that this tournament's gonna go really well, just based off what
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen from Kilroy's.
I'm really excited for it. I should be able to go to full blown,
Nice.
so
Um,
that I'm really excited.
cool. um, so when you attend a regional, Midwest or otherwise, I guess, what is your goal with the tournament? Do you have a specific placement you try to get? Do you just try to focus on playing well that day? Do you want to hang out with friends? Like, what's your main goal for these?
Definitely, I think something that I've tried to focus on a lot more recently is like getting to spend time with like the people that I don't get to see that often because you know the Midwest scene is so spread out, and I know a lot of people, so it's like it's just something like every now and then I've taken the opportunity to like now not even enter singles, but just like you know get to see people that I don't too often.
Sure. Yeah. I love Suicide Dare is never sick unless it's like to lose the game. No, that is
That's a
when it's
statement.
so hot. Yeah.
In
Um.
in terms of like competing though, I think I don't know. This is something that I've tried to be doing more for tournaments in general recently, not just regionals, but like taking like my time with my mentality
Sure.
and sort of just like keeping a calm presence, right?
Okay.
Especially like mid set or mid game, it's just like not getting shaken by something,
Sure.
and that's all. Like if I can just make slight improvements in my mentality, I can be happy with how I performed in a set, right?
Sure. Yeah. I feel like specifically you as a player, where you start to crumble is when like something happens, right? Like you
Right.
kind of lock onto that. But if you're not in there, you're golden. Like you're a monster. And I think like it has shown that you have just been kind of taking your time, and like when something happens, you're just like, okay. So it shines through. Okay. How do you prepare for big tournaments like that? Do you just do you have a practice regimen? Do you just kind of wing it?
A lot of time, like when it comes to my opponents, like sometimes I'll look at who I have, like who I think I might lose to or something like that, and it's like okay, or who, like I did for Botany last month. I was like, I looked at the attendee list and I was like, okay, these are a lot of the heavy hitters that I'm going to be playing
Sure.
probably. There's a lot of Falcos, for instance, that tournament. Um, and I was like, okay, how can I work on my Falco matchup? And I played a few sessions of Falco. I tried to think about like matchups in proactive ways. A lot of times I won't necessarily do player specific analysis, which is maybe something I could do more.
Sure.
But definitely, at least for the matchup, I've been trying to prepare more for in certain situations. Yeah, I think that's my main form of like tournament preparation.
Sure.
Making sure, I mean, this is always the real struggle, but making sure I've had enough to like eat and stuff in the morning, or I've gotten enough
Honestly,
sleep.
yes.
That's like the main part of the main barrier to like playing well. I think for me is having like a good outside situation, and then I can focus on like the in-game stuff.
Sure. Okay. I think that's yeah. I think recently I've realized how much of it. Oh.
Oh wow, that was
Recently I've realized how much of an impact like that out of game like take care of yourself actually matters. Ooh, that was cute. Ooh. But yeah, speaking of like, you know, taking care of yourself, enhancing your performance, one might say.
oh. Oh my god. I can't believe you guys actually wrote this down.
Of course, yeah. So, I think the use of weed, right? So you were talking about no, like you were talking about like
Weed is a performance enhancing drug.
right, okay.
It is a performance enhancing drug. Every time I smoke weed, it has to be a sweet spot. I think people talk about the alcohol, the 2 beer sweet spot or something. I don't think people talk about the the 2 hits off a joint or something like that, or
Okay.
2 cart ribs.
Okay. So just a little something, and honestly, I think it just depends on like what your issue is. Like again, we talked about how your issue is you kind of lock into like when a bad thing happens.
Yeah.
Like let's say a tense game 3, 1-1, you and Alex. You're at 0, Alex is at 100. He gets that stitch, right? Like
Yeah.
that is a set ending stitch sometimes for you.
Right, a set ending stitch or like a set ending like, oh, I ate 50 off a down smash because I had one
Right.
I shouldn't have.
And I think that like 2 pen rips, that's what it might take for you to just be like, okay. You know, that might be
mean,
the chill.
It might be the thing, or maybe I need to stop doing that. Honestly, maybe I need to like focus and lock up.
Sure.
But you know, I think there's something to be said. I don't know. I think people get in their heads too much about it. Like, you can play just as good like if you've smoked weed or not before you play a set. I don't know. I don't think it.
I agree. I think
like
that
that it's a PH or a PED. I don't think it has as much set like of an impact as people sometimes talk about.
I also agree with that, where it can be like it can be helpful or harmful. It's not exactly like it is what it is.
I've been on team weed's like a crush lately. Like I think it is good for like your mentality, but once you're good at that, I think you're just like dulling your senses too much. I think like once you get that figured out, it's just a hindrance.
Sure, that makes sense.
That's fair.
As not a weed guy, I really don't know that much. But yeah. Do you think? So actually, one of the questions I wrote down was, "What are your thoughts on 2 beers?" So it's funny that you also brought that up. I think I play insane off 2 beers, Rocco.
I got a Garibaldi with me. I don't think I'm the best when it comes to alcohol in playing Melee.
Okay.
But like, I think it's fun. I think it's way more fun to play Melee when you're like a little bit tipsy or something like that.
Yeah, I think because like everything that you do just feels fast. Like
it feels fast, and I also think there's definitely something to be said about like creativity. I think like something that and this is actually something that I think is like very relevant to like how I've been starting to think about the game more recently, is like how important creativity is, especially for Punish. And I think that like if you can be like smartly mixing up your options, then in terms of Punish, then like sometimes you just hit somebody with something you've never done before, and sometimes I feel like I can only feel like that when I'm in the zone, and sometimes 2 beers helps with that. Sometimes 2 pen rips helps with that, right?
Gets the creative juices flowing, for sure. I like how as you're talking about that creativity though, you just go for some shit. Like you did 160% combo that ended in a weak hit up smash, but like imagine. Like what if?
Oh, nice laser one.
Okay. I don't really have a cute little segue into this next section. So we're just going to go into the next section. Unless you have any more...
I don't have any more thoughts on that.
Cool. I mean, I feel like that was definitely more like a joke, like...
I'm sorry. I needed to say something.
Because it was a joke, I wanted to talk about it. Like, I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, so Indiana Melee.
Indiana Melee.
What do you think our strengths are as a region? And what do you think our weaknesses are, basically? Like,
I think our strengths is we have a very like strong set of dedicated TOs, from IU to NWI to Indy and some other regions. I think we have a very strong set of like TOs that really want to run tournaments for their friends, and I think that general hominess is like one of our greatest strengths. I don't know, you didn't ask, but I think the weakness is that there's a weakness in the fact that we have all of our scenes are very far apart, and that sometimes it can be hard to get people out to like other I remember I mean there's a reason why I've only been to one Evansville tournament ever, and that's because it's like 4 hours for me.
I was about to say it's like a 7-hour round trip.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but I highly agree with both of those. I think that our scene, not even just the TOs, just everyone in general is just very dedicated. And we're
For
all
sure.
we're all basically friends. Like we just want to hang
Exactly.
out with people we enjoy, and I think that creates a very good scene environment. And I also agree that some places are far as fuck. Like it is hard
But
to get out to.
that's just
Yeah,
something that you gotta like understand being in the Midwest.
sure.
But I do think like sometimes it feels like Indiana can struggle with that more than other scenes. Like Milwaukee and Madison aren't that far, and it's like you have like two big scenes for Wisconsin there.
Right.
Chicago is pretty centered, or Illinois is pretty centered around Chicago.
Sure. But Champaign
But
does have some juice in it.
exactly, that's like the main thing.
Yeah.
I
But
think
even
those
then,
are
like
close
that's
enough.
two scenes versus the Purdue, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, IU, Northwest
Right.
Indiana. Like there's so many scenes, and like they're all like relatively active. So it's hard to
Mhm.
like combine that. Okay. How do you think Indiana Melee stacks up to each other right now? What do you think like the power regions are? Like in a scene crew battle, what's your rank?
Uh, I, I hate to brag, but I think Purdue is pretty far and away like the #1 sort of scene in the state.
I truly think there isn't really an argument.
They're not much of an argument, but that's it. Also just like sucks
You all
that
just
distance. Because of that distance, it's hard for some people like or because of other factors, you know, like I wish Rodney HPR attended more, but it's
Sure.
like Rodney would easily be like top 5, top if not top easily top 3 in the state.
Sure.
Same thing with like Abu is technically Indiana, but you know,
Right.
he doesn't go to any. He doesn't even go to locals.
So that's the only argument I could see is an active Fort Wayne, but what does that mean, right?
Right.
Because like
And
between
I think Purdue still does well against an active Fort Wayne.
I do too. I just think there's an argument there. Like
Yeah.
between Abu, Rod, Toast, I guess Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah. So like that's a pretty strong top 4 right there. And then like Purdue, you have you, Austin, Alex, Eric,
Yes.
and then Gavin, or like even
Yeah,
Spence is there. Like you just
Yeah.
have, not only are you strong, I think you're just deeper than Fort Wayne specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think I don't mean to. I want to give credit to Fort Wayne because I think Fort Wayne is actually like maybe deeper than we are. Like JD, there's a lot of issues with inactivity, but I think
Sure.
JD, Robbie,
JD,
who
Robbie,
else?
Bard are just like
Yeah,
such a
Bard
sick
is like
like
it's such a sick like even like 5 to 8 or something like that.
yeah,
I want to give credit where it's due, right?
sure.
And even Indy with like real attendance, like say Rick was like active. You can have
Sure.
like Rick, Dow, Seal, you, Nico,
Something
David,
like that.
maybe.
David, honestly, dude, Omar is kind of nice. Like-
He just joined the Top Marth Discord, and I was talking with him about going to some Indiana stuff. I think he just needs to get his controller fixed, and then I think he wants to attend more.
I was just talking about Lunar, but
Oh yeah, Lunar too.
yeah, but David, I'm excited for David to come out.
I think Lunar's gotten a lot better too, and it's like if you had like Lunar's even like not to be mean, but
No,
Indie B, when
yeah.
that's Indie B team, it's like Indie B team is like pretty fucking stacked, right?
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's B team anymore. Like so we're talking about the Indianapolis
In terms
PR.
of in terms of active,
Right.
he's easily like top 3, right?
Yeah. Right now, the argument is me versus Lunar for 2.
Yeah, and then Steel #1.
Seal has lost 2 sets this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has Steel? Please tell me he attended enough to make PR.
Yes.
Or like Indie PR. Okay, cool.
He was eligible for state PR before he was eligible for city PR, and I think that's
That's right.
awesome.
Like yeah, because he went to what Kilroy.
Kilroy and Botany. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No,
I've been-
Seal is good. I'm really happy to
I
see
think it
like
feels really good.
yeah, especially like he has been getting better. That
Yeah, I
being
mean, he's put up
said,
some like crazy results. Sorry, he beat Ober and some other people at
yeah.
Cream City, whatever.
That being said, what's your lifetime with Seal?
Uh, I don't know.
I think it's like 2-0. But that's still a strong 2-0. Let's go, Rocco.
We played like ages ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that there could be some interesting dynamics. I think Purdue is 1, Fort Wayne's probably 2.
Oh,
Indy is
what's up, Gare? By the way.
he doesn't care. I think Indy is probably a 3. Pika in chat though talking about an active NWI with like Blue,
Mac Daddy,
Imder,
Frost.
Mac Daddy, Frost.
Yeah, I think Christian kind of still almost counts as NWI.
Yeah, I mean that's his
like
main
other
local.
people, yeah, right. If other
Mhm.
people like Frost and Mac Daddy, which I totally count them as like NWI, when they go to like the locals and stuff, I think Christian can definitely count as NWI.
Sure. So we've talked about the top a little bit. Are there any new faces that you really want to look out for?
I might be biased, but like I think some Purdue people that are like really getting a lot better are like obviously Spence, Banjo. Like
Mhm.
even just this semester has like made like really great strides. I see a lot of like cool things. Like,
Oh yeah.
like trying new like things that I think are indicative of good growth.
Yeah, I
I think
haven't
those
really
are
seen Spence play
sorry.
much, but I'm very impressed with Banjo. I think Dylan has been
Yeah.
getting a lot better. But yeah, go ahead.
As far as the rest of the scene goes, I think Omar Lunar is a really
Mhm.
good pick for like most improved over the course of like the past year, half year.
Sure. Ooh.
Trying to think about yeah, not like Indy or Purdue.
Sure. And like
Dalbull,
Dalbeast, Dalbeast,
Dalbeast will
Dalbeast has
always
already
be the
been like
goat.
top 15.
Exactly.
Put Craig's name before mine, honestly.
Who?
Craig,
Craig.
Oh.
Craig the goat. Craig's defending the house tomorrow, so against Austin and you guys. So I'm happy about that.
No,
Wait,
and
did you guys find a fourth, or can Pete make it?
oh yeah, so Pete can make it. So our
Nice.
it is me, Pete, Lunar, and honorary Indianapolisian, Inner Greninja. I think that's so funny because like the interaction was like, Austin was like, he said there's no honor there. Basically how it happened was Austin was like, "Hey, I'm going to Southside this Sunday. If you are going," and I was like, "I would love to go out. Unfortunately, I work that day, but I'm gonna try to make Dark Tournament." And he was like, "Oh, cool. Well, if you're looking for a teammate, let me know." And I was like, "I haven't made a crew yet. Do you want to run it?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay." So that's
Before like the concept of an indie, because I honestly thought there wasn't gonna be an indie crew. This to give some context to people who might not follow Purdue Melee. At the end of every semester, we host a crew battle bracket called the Dark Tournament, and usually there's an indie invader crew that Purdue. Some of the better players at Purdue usually make an effort to team so that we can defend the home turf.
to mix results. It's what.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say the last one we won.
All right, so
If
not
you
not
wanna
really
say
not
mixed
really
results.
not really mixed results, but we did lose one. Indy is 3 for 4. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, who's counting, right?
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna leave it at mixed, but you brought some fire out of me. All right. um, but yeah, it's a really fun tournament, and it was really cool to see like a strong Purdue crew finally close it out. Like even on like the receiving end, it was really cool to like, especially you, right? So I think
I think for me, because I've literally like been the cause of us choking.
I don't know about
like,
cause, but like in
actually, no. You were the reason that you guys clutched.
well, like in two of
I
the
see
3
that.
wins, it ended up being me versus you. And
Really?
yes, yeah. Oh, so the first one started with me and you, and the third one ended with me and you.
Okay. Oh, I see that.
Yeah, yeah. And both times I think you just choke in cruise, but it was really cool to see you just dial the fuck in against me on the fourth one.
Honestly, that's the best like I've ever. I remember because I was locked in as Marth, and I think that's the best
Mm-hmm. You played
Sheik
amazing.
Marth I've ever played.
Yeah, I think it was
Especially
like
because I think you destroyed me in that matchup.
you had uh you had 2 stocks, I had 4, and I won the game with 1 stock going into your last person. So yeah, you played sick.
Oh, that was sick.
Ooh, that was a sneaky shine. We will go ahead and call this last game.
Oh, is that it for Melee? Oh, this one's the last one.
Austin
Sorry.
Austin said 6-2 lead last December. ... That was the infamous I chain grabbed you 4 times.
And that was Beast.
Ah, it's okay. It is funny the dynamic between like me versus you and me versus Seal, where like I have to keep up on both matchups.
Oh yeah, because you and Seal don't do chain grabs,
Mhm.
right?
I let my
That's the-
opponent pick every time. But yeah, so speaking of, as a dual main, how do you choose which matchup you're gonna play?
Mm, before I kind of like right as I started picking up Sheik, I had this like philosophy where I was just gonna like whatever matchup I thought was like on paper better. But I think especially playing Alex has made me like sort of think what I should play sort of by feel, like which one I think I can do better with in the moment. Because sometimes I think my movement with Sheik is just like way better, or I have a better game sense for how a matchup might go
Sure.
with one character or the other. There are some exceptions like Spaceys. I'm probably not gonna try out Sheik, especially Fox.
Sure.
But like Falcon
Can
like
kind of
Sheik
go
Falcon is,
either
like,
way.
exactly. Well, it's just that, like I've sort of locked into like Marth Falcon because I enjoy that matchup way more than I do Sheik.
Oh
and
yeah.
I think the punish on Marth's side is a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like it's a matchup that's seen as one of Marth's probably worst matchups, even if it's people say it's even or something like that.
Sure.
But it's one of his more struggle ones, and people always talk about how Sheik is like a bad matchup for Falcon. But I like Marth Falcon, and I've beaten some Falcons like. With Marth. What?
Well, specifically the in-region Majersk.
Well, not just
I
Eric,
know,
because
but like
I don't know.
Midnight
Eric-
Blue, I think is a very strong Falcon win.
Yeah. Well, it's just, and I think part of it is that I've had so many like strong Falcons to like kind of practice against, like Mac Daddy.
Sure.
And now Majersk, like now that Eric is Purdue, like we've had a lot of. It's been fun playing him and seeing like a new style that I haven't really seen before in Indiana.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh. I can't leave out Joe Frigid. She's probably the reason that I'm as good at that matchup as I am. Like without a doubt, she was like one of my.
God rest her soul. Truly.
Exactly. Rest in peace. Oh, Beast. I didn't know you had that chat message, Dolan. That's Beast. But yeah, and then Sheik. I don't know. I've been feeling it for Peach, feeling Sheik versus Peach more as like comfort over Marth. I obviously feel more comfortable in Sheik versus Samus and Pika. But sometimes I like there's mid tiers where it's just like I don't know what I'm doing with Sheik, and I'm just gonna go Marth, right? Like
Sure.
Doc probably. I don't know. I'd probably go Marth.
Makes sense.
Sorry for. I don't know.
No, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Okay. Well, we will go into the more section. So Dalton's gonna lead those questions, and we're gonna get some gaming in. As always, I kind of try to pick songs based on what the guest would enjoy. Kind of seems like you're on a little bit of a Beatles kick, so we're playing some Beatles.
All right. A Beatles kick is a little. I don't know if you could say I'm always on a Beatles kick.
Sure.
Arguably.
Yeah.
It's a Beatles life. You're working at the Tippecanoe Public Library. What is the most interesting person you've had to deal with so far?
Oh, interesting. There was a guy that came in. I didn't really have to deal with him, but there was a guy the other day. I guess he just bought a guitar. It looked like fresh as hell, but he just bought a guitar. I think it was a Gibson guitar that I recognized, just because it had this clean look to it. But it looked pretty new, and he came in and it was not harassing, but he kept on asking a coworker of mine to like go get him guitar books, and I was like, I don't know. It just seemed very odd. He had like just walking into the library with a guitar and shit. I don't know. It was odd, but I mean, I've only been working there for like less than 2 months now, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of characters that come in.
Certainly. Speaking of guitar, you've been learning a bit of it at least. How's that going?
Yeah, I picked it up over quarantine, just because my brother had, and there was a guitar on that. My parents bought my brother a guitar, and so like when I was home, when like Purdue wasn't in session for a while, or like there was a semester where we were online school, I tried playing it a bit, and like my brother was, and I definitely kind of like got overshadowed by him. Not overshadowed, but like I was never as like diligent about practicing and whatnot as he was. But I think I've still like sort of like I have a guitar and I like try to play it every now and then. And especially now that I've gotten used to like working at the library and having a consistent schedule, I've been trying to practice it more regularly. And also I like playing it because it's like a sort of form of I like the way it allows me to sort of like give some expression. Like if I can just like make some rinky-dink music clips and post them to Twitter and people can sort of see like what music I like. And I think that's kind of cool to share that.
Like when you are on a Beatles kick.
Is there like a song that you can't play yet, but you really wanna like learn how to?
Yeah, I really want to learn a bunch of Donovan songs, especially like early Donovan. He was a folk artist from the 60s, but did a lot of like fusion stuff. A lot of his early songs are folk though, and they are really good like folk inspired, like British folk guitar parts. Unfortunately, a lot of it is like finger picking styles, and unless you have a capo, it's gonna sound in the wrong key. So I want to get a capo and then like learn, because I'm just lazy about buying a capo, but I wanna get one and then like learn the correct finger picking styles and do all that stuff.
Nice.
Like I don't know, just a few examples like Colors and Catch the Wind are some good songs I want to learn.
Remus in chat, Donovan mentioned.
There's no way.
Yeah, dude, Eric
Eric,
has some beast music.
Please, like, we got to talk about Donovan sometime because I only got put onto him this summer, but like, holy shit, I listened to like him nonstop over the summer, and it was like actually almost like embarrassing how much I like Donovan, after the summer. Oh, that was nasty.
We've already mentioned the Beatles a couple times, but what is it about the Beatles that draws you to them specifically? Like, what do you like about them?
I think they just have a lot of like they have so many different kinds of music from covering so many genres, and it's like I think there's something for everybody in the Beatles, and even despite that, I like almost all of their stuff, and it might be for like a point of familiarity at this point, but I don't know. I think they have music that just sort of like speaks to the soul, and it's very human.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I just like and I also like a lot of the sound, like the sort of distinctive Beatles sounds, like some of the string arrangements that George Martin did, and a lot of like I like also some of the contrast that they as a band their sound had, because like there was different primary songwriters. There's like the Paul stuff, and then there's the John stuff, and then the George stuff. So it's like you get a nice spread that way.
Yeah. Remus asks, I've been sitting on this question all day, really curious what Rocco's 5 favorite Beatles albums are, including solo member stuff or side projects.
Oh, okay. So the thing is I haven't really listened to too much of the solo careers, which is crazy considering how much I have listened to like their band group stuff. like although this fall I did get really into some of their early solo stuff, which I'm trying to like continue. I listened to John Lennon Plastic Ono Band a lot, and also All Things Must Pass and Imagine, which are John's first 2 solo albums and George's first solo album. Those are both really good. But 5 favorite Beatles albums, I can just give like, I don't know how I'd rank their solo stuff like in with their other stuff, but I'd say my favorites are White Album by far is my favorite. Then probably, wow, that was crazy that hit. White Album, Revolver, maybe Rubber Soul, Magical Mystery Tour. Is that 3 or 4? That's 4. Then maybe, probably, what's the last one? Abbey Road or maybe Sgt. Pepper's. But also maybe with the Beatles. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't really pick between. It's hard. It's hard.
Fair enough. We got a lot of work to sort out. Speaking of which, how is the Beatles song tier list looking?
I haven't made a lot of progress on it. I was working on a tier list of all their songs, but I kind of fizzled out working on it just because I've been playing a lot more video games. So, but I want to get back into streaming and trying to rank more of their discography. I think I still have my progress saved on this one website.
Good.
So, I need to get back into that.
And if you're someone like me and you really want to see the next update to it, where would I find that?
Oh, one might find it at Twitch.tv. Sometimes I even forget what it is because it's like not Latin or me or anything. But it's ShiftyRye27 is my Twitch. That was a crazy grab. I need to stick my jump. Ram, that's the thing is I listened to McCartney 1 a long time ago, Eric, but I haven't listened to Ram, and I want to give it a shot because I feel like George and John are like my favorite. So, and I feel like I've never given Paul a fair shot in terms of like I want to listen to McCartney again, and I want to listen to Ram because I've never really listened to that.
So we've mentioned Donovan and the Beatles. What other artists made the Spotify Wrap this year?
Neutral Milk Hotel. Actually, okay, and as far as bands that aren't fucking half a century old, and I actually just got into them recently, I started listening to The Strokes for the first time this year on the recommendation of Gavin Peters, and one Gavin Peters, aka Life. He is a good friend of mine, and I respect his taste in culture and music. And he is a big stroker, as they say. And I started listening to the Strokes, and they're a very good band. What I like about them is how, like, especially in their early music, but also sometimes in like their new stuff, the new Abnormal, is like sometimes the simple arpeggios, like they've just like simple arpeggios or power chords or song structures that the Strokes do really well. Sometimes even regardless of how simple they are, they really hit, and they know how to make really hard, like emotional songs, in my opinion. And Julian Casablancas is a really good vocalist, so I really have been liking the Strokes a lot. New Abnormal is great. Probably my favorite album. Room on Fire is also really good. Probably tied with Is This It? I want to give more of a shot to, because I haven't listened to as much as like 80s Come Down Machine or Angles or something like that. So I want to try out giving like strong listen-tos for the rest of their discography.
Nice.
Neutral Milk Hotel is another like huge thing that I've liked for, since I was in high school. They have a real, like, I honestly think Neutral Milk Hotel does not have like any misses in their discography.
Which one am I?
What was that?
So which one am I?
Oh. That is funny because like I kind of turn red when I get poofed or something like that.
Mhm.
I like MPX endless stroking. Yeah.
Why are Sundays so depressing? You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. That's just true.
Speaking of art, anyone who's been in the NWI Discord has seen you discussing film with Saigon. What are some of your favorites?
Some favorite movies of mine. I really like The Lord of the Rings. That's like a childhood movie that like I watched a lot, and I still think is like I think they're really well made, especially because they were like movies that were. It was like it was like a piece of culture that people like said for the longest time was like unadaptable. And don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of things that like you can't capture about the books on film. But I think Peter Jackson did a great job in terms of turning something that daunting and that like almost unimmeasurable into like this really succinct and also like blockbuster. Like how do you just turn Lord of the Rings into a blockbuster? And he just kind of did that.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty hype. Cool movies in terms of more like cinema classics, I guess you could say. I really like Seven Samurai and The Graduate. You just watched Seven Samurai?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my god! Like, I know I know you said you just watched it, but like we gotta like watch it again sometime. I would love to watch that with you, Dalton.
That's perfect. So I missed like probably the first half hour or so.
It is a very long movie, and but I think it's just like super human, like I said again.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite like media and like art in general is just like things I feel like really speak to the human experience.
Absolutely.
So, The Graduate is a really good movie. The Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman is really good too. Lawrence of Arabia by David Lean. It's a great movie. Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of movies. You can. My letterbox is ShiftyRye27 if you want to follow me. I actually have a Gimme Dat Wheat follow on my letterbox account, which is maybe like my most prized social media follow in general.
That's honestly so sick. I would give anything for that.
More so than any Twitter follower I have.
Yeah, what Twitter followers aren't worth anything.
Exactly.
Letterbox is where it's at. Rima says, Rocco got me to watch The Seventh Seal. Fantastic film.
It is a very good movie. I think that is also a very like movie that speaks to a lot of human issues like the existence of God and like human like nihilism and like what is the human purpose. And it's like I think the movie speaks to like humanity can like we should do whatever gives us or like we should do whatever we think gives us our own meaning. Is like we have self-determination, and I think that movie is like really good at sort of making it feel like human actions have like their own importance, right?
Yeah.
Meaning is what will make it.
I am genuinely gonna watch back this VOD and like write down everything you've said in this section. 'Cause I don't watch a lot of movies, but I trust your opinion a lot.
Thank you, Dawn. That means a lot to me.
I think a big problem Melee players face is that they don't play enough other games. What are some of the games that you like to play?
That's actually something that's like a topic that I think is really. I in some ways I've had a lot more stability in my life since getting a job and since working at the library, and I think something that it's afforded me is a more consistent schedule than when I was like going to school at Purdue, and because like when you have like for some classes you have homework and sometimes you don't, it's like I feel like it can be difficult to like play games without feeling like you're being unproductive or not doing homework or something like that. So now that I have a more consistent schedule, I have a job, it's just like the time that I spend at work that's the only time I have to be doing stuff. I feel like I can get back into gaming, right? And to enjoying certain video games. I've always liked it's like single player RPGs that I can really sink my teeth into, like in high school, I played a fuck ton of Skyrim, like so much, and I've honestly played a bit of Skyrim during college and gotten back into it. Not recently, but I think Skyrim and like other single player RPGs that I enjoy, just like really like, it's like a form of escapism, right? It's just like you can spend a lot of time just like immersing yourself in this world, and I think that's a lot of fun. And then also a different form of gaming that I like is just like, multiplayer games that I can play with my friends, and it's more so I'm hanging out with my friends than really for the game itself. I feel like that's like the two major types of games that I enjoy. And I feel like recently, since I've started working at the library, I've started to try to schedule more like non-melee gaming sessions with my friends. Me and you have started playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, which I've, just like had a blast. I thank you for, entertaining my newbie pirate ass as I just kind of do whatever.
I'm just happy to have someone to play with.
It's a lot of fun playing Sea of Thieves with you. So that's something I've been really happy about getting like regular sessions with. We've been playing Lethal Company a little recently with some Purdue homies, and that's a lot of fun. It reminds me of the days when I used to like, especially during like the lockdown period of COVID, where we would play a lot of Valorant together, like post net play week, because Purdue used to have net play weeklies for a year, my sophomore year of college, and we used to play a lot of Among Us back then too. A lot of fun. So it's been reminding me of those days where I actually feel like I have been like enjoying video games aside from just like trying like mindlessly slaving away trying to improve at this 20-year-old party game.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Oh!
Yeah, Lethal Company is a lot of fun.
It really is. I think genuinely when I like look on Twitch and I see you playing like Dolphin Lord of the Rings game, and just like any obscure shit game, it just makes me so much happier than like seeing someone play Melee, like Alex Coffee, who's playing Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I need another Alex Coffee Skyrim just because like
they're so good.
It's just like seeing Melee players play non-Melee games just makes me really happy for some reason.
Yeah.
I think you can get meaning out of Melee. Yeah, I think just because I think people get focused on the competitive aspect of Melee a lot, especially a lot of people that I know. So it's fun to see people like enjoy gaming outside of that.
Yeah, it's just good for the mental.
That was sneaky.
So on Twitter, you've been posting a lot of French toast and horchata lately, and even recently had a cooking stream. Is this a new passion? What's next for the Rocco Kitchen?
Essentially, since I started like living, off campus, and having to cook for myself for like the better part of 3 years now. I think cooking has been like a real like passion of mine. I like watching a lot of cooking videos on YouTube, and it's really interesting to like approach cooking as not just like a means of feeding myself, but also as like a form like gastronomy, like as a science, but also as just like it can be fun. It can be fun to cook new things, to pull them off well, and it can be really like satisfying to pull off a recipe that you've never tried before, or like enjoy food in a new way. And I think that's been something that I've enjoyed, or has been like a hobby, like a kind of like a hobby of mine for like a few years now. Recently, as far as the French toast thing goes, I just think I realized that like French toast is a really easy as fuck breakfast to make. It's really simple and it tastes really good, and it's also just a way of cramming sweets into my mouth. And it's just like so indulgent, and I really like that about it. You just like put a bunch of syrup on. You can put peanut butter and feel better about yourself because you're actually getting protein. That kind of stuff. it just tastes really good, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like going to Waffle House and getting like a double stack of waffles loaded with syrup, but you can just do it at home for like way cheaper.
That's real.
And also horchata is just a good drink. There's nothing more about that. Yes, Bennett. I agree, Jalen. Bennett. I love when Bennett plays Metroid. It's like I think that's some of my favorite Indiana Melee stream content.
That just reminded me. I had completely forgotten about the old Rocco Samus break the target speedruns.
Oh my god.
That's a callback.
That was like a obsessive interest thing for like 2 weeks. I don't know, probably even less. That I just was like, okay, I'm not having really fun with competing in Melee. What can I do to try something else out? And it was trying Samus break the target test. Oh my god. No, I missed my. Her what's it called is so, her jump squad is so long. Yeah, but I don't know. There's some, I forget his tag, but it's some guy that was like, he's probably like 40 or something. I don't mean to call him old, but he's like, he was like probably in his 20s trying to figure out Melee break the target speedrunning like in 2001 when the game came out.
Yeah.
But he was super nice. He like tuned in to some of my streams back then when his name was like Mario Master or Mega Mario guy or something, Super Mario Man. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like an idiot, but he was really nice, and he was like coming into my stream. Meanwhile, this was the guy that had like the world record or like top 3 slot or something like that, and he was like, "You're making really good progress," even though I was just like starting off, and I never picked it up again after like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
It's just nice seeing like people passionate about like whatever they're passionate about and like going out of their way to help other people. Like
right, and there's like no judgment, and I feel like that was actually something that kind of gave me this new interesting. That was really good shakeout. Nathan, you are so absolutely holy cow. It was there's people can get their own enjoyment out of a lot of things in Melee, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like competitive. And like for them, there's like the competitive aspect is sort of like wanting to have the top spot, but really they just want to like see the record lowered, right? They're not like all they're in it for is like trying to see this like the movement of the game optimized, and in a way that's like in some aspects can be more interesting than like who can push the buttons and kill each other faster, right? Like meaning the competitive aspect. There's something that's really fascinating about like the single player speedrunning.
Yeah, because like they have records, right? But you're not competing directly against other people. It's a lot about self-improvement more so than competing.
Yeah, it's about self-improvement, and I think that really speaks to me in a certain way.
Yeah.
So it is 11 or 10:29 now. We would call this the last game.
Sure.
Perfect. So work-life balance looks different for everyone, but you mentioned earlier that you found a schedule that really works for you right now. What does that look like?
I mean, it's just nice not being in school anymore. So like having you know, like the time that I have off of work, it's just like I don't have to be like, okay, do I have homework or not? Should I be working on something? It's just like I have that time to do whatever I want to. Sure. So it's like during those times I can schedule, okay, for this hour of the day, I'm going to be playing Sea of Thieves with you, or, you know, I'm going to be practicing Marth Falco within Killablu or something like that. Or I can schedule like, okay, I want to practice this guitar part like during this hour, which I think is I'm really happy that my schedule allows me to, or it affords me the ability to sort of like be more dedicated, and because that's something I want to get better at guitar, and I think part of that is being like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, not gonna let my ADHD get the best of me. I'm gonna practice this one song until I feel tangible improvement, and I'm gonna do that over the course of several days, and it's gonna get easier, and then I'll be better at playing the song, and I'll just be better at playing the guitar in general. And I think that's part of that regimented schedule that having a job has, allowed me to sort of have in my life now that I've graduated.
Yeah. You guys have just insane sheep dittos. Do you think? Do you have like any trouble finding like motivation, even if you have like the time?
Yeah, definitely sometimes. Sometimes if I'm just having a blue day or something like that, it can be hard to be productive or to get out of bed or something like that. But I feel like that's all about recognizing, and recognizing that. Let me think for a second. That that's not like a lasting thing, right? And that if you have the time to be productive, it's just a matter of having like the personal like willpower to sort of get up and try to tangibly make your life better. And I think when you focus on the fact that you like when you view everything that you do, every action that you put intentional willpower towards as like, this is making me a human being simply by like participating in culture or participating in self-improvement, then it becomes a lot more sort of, you view a lot more like menial tasks and stuff like that as, or even just things that don't seem that complicated as you participating in the human experience, right?
Sure.
No. Oh well.
GG's.
GG's.
Very
Well
GG's.
played. I'm mad. Okay, I'm not mad that it hit. I'm mad that it's sour spotted because that was just lame.
Wait,
But
which one?
The up smash.
That like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good.
I lost that. So the last time Seal and I played, it was double 3-1 in his favor, and the first game I lost both at 150%. He's Zelda.
Oh.
Whenever Zelda's recovering, my blood boils. So I just ledge dash fully charged up smash.
That's raw. That's raw.
And he went to ledge and then lightning kicked me and I died.
What? I would have like literally lost my mind. That's like some you versus Wens type shit, But with like way less, I guess less stakes maybe.
No, but it was fun.
Hi, Billy, how's it going?
Billy in here? Dude, thank you for stopping in, Billy. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I saw his message. What was the first one? Oh, the second nair was so nerdy. When I did the runoff double falling nair. Yeah.
No, that's so sick. It's so nerdy, but like I love that everything you do in Melee, Mason, feels so gung-ho. Like you are the most gung-ho player that I've ever like met, and it's so sick.
You're a literal sweetheart. I've been wanting this episode for so long, and I'm happy it finally happened.
Me too. I hope it was a good one.
It was. I had a lot of fun. This is by far our most consistently high viewers ever.
Yeah.
No. People like you, believe it or not.
Surely Jolene Frigid, Jolene SSBM Frigid had more viewers. Oh yeah, how come Icelink hasn't been on? Joey Icelink. I'm Latino for a reason. Likewise.
Someday.
Me and Joe, I don't know. No, we'll do Icelink. Well, eventually. It's past his bedtime.
Right.
Right.
He's too busy. He needs to be asleep dreaming about forklifts. And
That's right. But you have been
if he stays up doing this, I feel like he'll be sleepy on the job, and that's dangerous.
You have been a blessing to be on. Do you have any closing remarks or anything?
Shout outs to Indiana Melee. It obviously because this is the Indiana, podcast, but like, I'm sorry, we are over time, but so I'll quickly
Oh,
shout
you
out.
can. Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Everybody at Purdue, Coffee, Majersk, Austin, Gavin, oh my God, please, I'm sorry, I started naming names, so I'm gonna leave out a bunch of people, but everybody at Purdue, I love you all. You're all great. Ricky, Max, Goob, you're the best. Daniel, thank you all for making food with me earlier today. Some other people, Maple Fields, Preeminent, Chicago, so many people, Ohio, Mac Daddy, Diego, all the IU people that do great work with the Indiana tournaments, Indy, Northwest Indiana, I don't know, so many people. Enrique, thank you for playing with me earlier. Thomas F. Zhang, I don't know why that name just popped into my head, but thank you. Okay, sorry. And also Zayn Nagmi and Jmook. That's it. Okay, last 2 names.
Nico in chat, you're digging yourself deeper in real time.
I'm so sorry.
Billy Bats, coming in here.
Billy Batista.
Recommending Ryo Beat on the show. For the Indiana Melee podcast is my 9/11. Like I want him to know that.
You gotta do it.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. As per usual, you do get to. Can we time out Austin?
I'm sorry.
God damn it. Okay, whatever. So as per.
Shout out Yasin. I'm sorry. I had to.
As per usual, you do get to pick one person, and Dalton and I will pay for any one weekly of your choice, or of their choice. But who would you like to give that to?
I would like to give it to, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sarah Chalmers, Shark, aka.
It's a good pick.
She's the goat, and she's gotten so much better. And it's only $1 weekly, but you'll have to. They don't have any more Purdue weeklies, so she'll have to wait until January to cash it in.
That works. Cash in
that singular $1.
Hey, it works. It works. Helps Dalton and I out. Nethercore was like, "Hey, will you pay for my bot me?"
Bruh,
we agreed.
You guys split it, right?
We agreed to pay for part of it.
Right.
Yeah, but come on, man.
Cole, it was fun meeting Cole.
No, Cole is genuinely a very good person. Like it was fun to meet him. I will not get NC on this show. You have to be at least 18 years or older to be on Melee and More.
Yeah, Indiana players only, actually. So.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he's Michigan, so technically.
All right. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys.
So much fun.
Yeah. This has been Melee and More, and I am Acid.
And I'm Dalbull.
See you guys.